Hello, my lovely leaves. I hope that everyone is well. We have the dead end, the Nasas, the box, the temple, the village, the heart, and the kiss. Libras. So, I guess I'm going to start with the temple and the village. The temple is the idea of what is it that you worship, right? And what it is that you think that you worship isn't always what you're actually giving all of your attention to, right? If we just think about that, like the context of worship, just as a word, right? When you think of somebody practicing worship, they dedicate themselves to it. Like I just went to this spiritual retreat this past weekend, and it was beautiful. It was gorgeous, and all of the master healers were in their attire, and they were, some of them were practicing vows of silence, and some of them were, engaged in just getting to know the people who were there, and it was just a very interesting dynamic to witness as somebody just like coming in from the outside looking in, because you can see what they worship, right? Because they're dedicated to this practice. They're dedicated to this journey, this path. And they could say to anyone in their lives, I really want to, like since I was a little girl, I wanted to, like get married and have a home, and but I dedicated my life to this. They're worshiping what their life is doing, not what their heart desires, right? And that's what I feel like this is about. Sorry, that was like a long, I'm just sharing. But anyway, so I feel like the idea here is that you've and leaves we've said this, I don't know how many times, y'all are ruled by Venus. You love love, right? And I feel like you want love, you want intimacy, but there's this idea that when you attempt this pursuit of love, that it gets boxed and it reaches a dead end. And I kind of want to say that has a lot to do with the community that you're surrounding yourself with. And I don't know, like who your community is, or, like I'm not to like pass judgment, but the idea of the village is that the village doesn't want you to get any bigger than they are, right? They don't want you to be any happier than they are. They don't want you to be any more successful than they are. And if you are, like it needs to be within limits, because they still need to be able to feed off of that. The village isn't really a great place. And yet, it's also a place that will consume all of your energy. It will consume all of your time. You will make your decisions according to the village instead of according to your heart's desire. And I feel like you're maybe starting to understand what that means, you know? Um, I feel like there's this idea of, it's funny, I was talking to a lead the other day about the idea of like drinking the Kool-Aid and, like making your life decisions based off of, like things that other people have told you. We both grew up in religious environments, and just kind of this idea of like making decisions because that's what we were taught was right. That's what we were told was the right thing to do. And Leaves, I feel like you guys are having to make a decision, and you're having to do it because you're being presented with your heart's true desire, or a placation of the village, ultimately worshiping and honoring that over yourself. And it's got you in your head. And I feel like you're trying to find the strength to go towards what it is that you really want. I don't know why. I think this Venus is in retrograde. Maybe some of you guys have your exes that have returned, and like you're having to really deal with like pressure, or I don't know, honestly. but but I feel like whatever it is, it's got you in your head because you're having to question where the problem really is. Where's the blockage at actually? Is it that my heart's not open, or is it that my attention is focused elsewhere? And I want to say, finding the strength to open your heart. Oops. Okay. Sending you all my love. You'll get through it. Okay. Ooh, yeah. 5 of Swords and 10 of Swords. Yeah, this feels like you are under attack for something right now. Like, there is just, like, you feel like you are fighting against people who want to take over your life. Like, you have to make decisions because of me. You have to. And that's funny because I think that that's probably where it feels like this either or. And it's like, if you have 2 opposing forces, and this one says either or, and this one says either or, you can acknowledge the fact that both of them have an either or that is in opposition of each other with reason. And you feel torn between this. And like you're just having to, like fight. It feels like a fight because the opposition is, I feel like it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Leaves. I feel like you guys love balance, but this is like there's no balance to be had here. Ooh. But it's which extreme do you want to go down? It's oh, it feels intense and it feels like heavy, and I don't know, leaves. Okay, let's do some more clarifiers. The Hierophant, the 8 of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like that there's not really, like, the idea of this card is that she's not really bound very tightly. Like, she can get out of this pretty easily. She's just feeling really, like, under attack. Because I want to say it's kind of like this, like, if it's important to you, then you allow for it to attack you. But you know better, I want to say. Because you know what your heart truly desires. Whew, leaves. Okay, let's do one more card for y'all and we'll call it a read. The Threshold and the Empty Room. I always think of the Jessie Reyez song, Who Am I When No One's in the Room? Because you can either or on behalf of other people and find yourself stuck, or you can either or on behalf of yourself, right? Because the answer always comes from within. Other people cannot tell us how we should move because nobody knows us as well as we know ourselves, right? And so you have to really sit with yourself and know which direction you want to move in, because either direction I want to say either direction is kind of like an IKEA. Those stores, you go in and you have to wait until you get out. Like they trap you in there. And I don't want to say that like you'll be trapped, but I do feel like there is an element of feeling like, will I be trapped? but acknowledging that whichever way you go, you're solidly in that direction. And you need to decide what you want. Because ultimately, your level of desire for that will greatly impact the experience that you have over this next little journey that you're about to embark upon. Leaves. Okay. Well, I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.